Om Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Vadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhagavati Nashtige. So continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 9, Appearance of the Demon Vritrasura. Text number 35 onwards. So demigods prayed and Lord Vishnu appeared, and now demigods are again glorifying him and praying to him. Since it's a prose verse, so we'll go to the translation. So demigods are saying, these are our inquiries. The ordinary conditioned soul is subject to the material laws, and he thus receives the fruits of his actions. Does your lordship, like an ordinary human being, exist within this material world in a body produced by the material modes? Do you enjoy or suffer the good or bad results of actions under the influence of time, past work, and so forth? Or on the contrary, are you present here only as a neutral witness who is self-sufficient, free from all material desires, and always full of spiritual potency? We certainly cannot understand your actual position. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that he descends to this material world for two purposes, namely paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya cha, to relieve the devotees and to kill demons or non-devotees. These two kinds of action are the same for the absolute truth. When the Lord comes to punish the demons, he bestows his favor upon them. And similarly, when he delivers his devotees and gives them relief, he also bestows his favor. Thus, the Lord bestows his favor equally upon the conditioned souls. When a conditioned soul gives relief to others, he acts piously. And when he gives trouble to others, he acts impiously. But the Lord is neither pious nor impious. He is always full in his spiritual potency, by which he shows equal mercy to the punishable and the protective. The Lord is apapaviddham. So this word, actually, apapaviddham, it comes in Ishopanishad. And Prabhupada has explained very nicely over there. Apapaviddham means he is never contaminated by the reactions of so-called sinful activities. And Prabhupada had given an example over there, just like sun. So sun gives his sunshine on both, on stool and on Ganges water also. So from stool, the sunshine soaks up all the water and makes it dry. And from Ganges water, some of the water vaporizes and goes into the air. But the sun never gets affected. Sun is never contaminated, whether his sunshine is touching the stool or the Ganges water. When Krishna was present on this earth, he killed many inimical non-devotees, but they all received sarupya. In other words, they returned to their original spiritual body. One who does not know the Lord's position says that God is unkind to him, but merciful to others. Actually, the Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, Samoham sarva bhuteshu. I'm equal to everyone. No one is my enemy and no one is my friend. But he also says, Ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya. If one becomes my devotee and fully surrenders unto me, I give him special attention. So the Lord is equal to everybody. Samo aham sarva bhuteshu. Means everybody actually receives their result of their karmas. Lord is not interfering in anybody's case, except next line he says, Ye bhajanti tu mam bhakta. Tu means but those who do my bhajan, those who are my devotees, they are in special category. They are in special, I give them special attention. But other than that, the Lord is always neutral, unbiased. And he's always spiritual. Text 36, translation. O Supreme Personality of Godhead, all contradictions can be reconciled in you. O Lord, since you are the Supreme Person, the reservoir of unlimited spiritual qualities, the Supreme Controller, your unlimited glories are inconceivable to the conditioned souls. Many modern theologians argue about right and wrong without knowing what is actually right. Their arguments are always false and their judgments inconclusive because they have no authorized evidence with which to gain knowledge of you. Because their minds are agitated by scriptures containing false conclusions, they are unable to understand the truth concerning you. Furthermore, because of polluted eagerness to arrive at the right conclusion, their theories are incapable of revealing you, who are transcendental to their material conceptions. You are one without a second, and therefore in your contradictions, like doing and not doing, happiness and distress, are not contradictory. Your potency is so great that it can do and undo anything as you like. With the help of that potency, what is impossible for you? Since there is no duality in your constitutional position, you can do everything by the influence of your energy. So this, as we know, demigods are speaking to the Lord because all of them got defeated by Vritrasura, and they just ran to the Lord, prayed to him, and the Lord appeared with his associates. And now they're presenting all these glories. And basically, they want Vritrasura to be killed. That's all the program is. The first thing is they're glorifying the Lord. The Supreme Personality of God, being self-sufficient, is full of transcendental bliss, Atmara. He enjoys bliss in two ways, when he appears happy and when he appears distressed. Distinction and contradictions are impossible in him because only from him have they emanated. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is a reservoir of all knowledge, all potency, all strength, opulence, and influence. There is no limit to his power, since he is full in all transcendental attributes. Nothing abominable from the material world can exist in him. He is transcendental and spiritual, and therefore conceptions of material happiness and distress do not apply to him. So this is conception of distress, just like we have discussed this point of his separation. Krishna's separation from, say, Radharani or Nanda Baba, Yashoda Maya, cowherd boyfriends, the girls, when he left Vrindavan. So if we undergo this kind of separation, it will be terrible for us. And that's why if we hear so many movie songs based on separation and this person lost his love or that person lost her love and this and that, it's very difficult for them to survive. But see, this is the difference. Here Prabhupada is writing, he enjoys bliss in two ways, when he appears happy and when he appears distressed. He's still in bliss. He's made of Sattva, Chitta, and Ananda. So the bliss is obviously a different kind. We cannot understand. We cannot even imagine. But we have to just understand it conceptually, that he is in bliss. Otherwise, he won't go through that kind of action because everything is in him. Everything emanates from him. He is a source of everything. So that's why Prabhupada says he is transcendental and spiritual, and therefore conceptions of material happiness and distress do not apply to him. We should not be astonished to find contradictions in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Actually, there are no contradictions. That is the meaning of his being supreme. Because he's all powerful. He's not subject to the conditioned soul's arguments regarding his existence or non-existence. He is pleased to protect his devotees by killing their enemies. He enjoys both the killing and protecting. Such freedom from duality applies not only to the Lord but also to his devotees. In Vrindavan, the damsels of Brajbhumi enjoy transcendental bliss in the company of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and they feel the same transcendental bliss in separation when Krishna and Balram leave Vrindavan for Mathura. There is no question of material pains or pleasures for either the Supreme Personality of Godhead or his pure devotees, although they are sometimes superficially said to be distressed or happy. One who is Atmaram is blissful in both ways. So that is the Supreme Lord. Non-devotees cannot understand the contradictions present in the Supreme Lord or his devotees. Therefore, in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, Bhaktya mam avijanati. The transcendental pastimes can be understood through devotional service. To non-devotees, they are inconceivable. Achintya khalu bhava na tams tarkena yojayet. The Supreme Lord and his form, name, pastimes, and paraphernalia are inconceivable to non-devotees, and one should not try to understand such realities simply by logical arguments. They will not bring one to the right conclusion about the absolute truth. So that is why so many people, they'll talk all sorts of things about the Lord. They just cannot understand. There's so many things. Especially his activities, which are very controversial, according to them. For devotees, they're very sweet. They're like him dancing with the gopis in the middle of the night, him stealing their clothes, him stealing butter, and of course, as Lord Ram killing Vali, hiding behind a tree, killing Thalka, Krishna killing Putna, and so many activities are there. So that is why we have to try to learn these pastimes through a bona fide acharya. Then we will be able to understand to whatever extent we can and appreciate those pastimes. Otherwise, 99.99% of people, they just cannot understand. Cannot. Samavisham matinam matam anusarasi yatha ranju khanda sarparidhiyam. A rope causes fear for a bewildered person who considers it a snake, but not for a person with proper intelligence who knows it to be only a rope. Similarly, you as a super soul in everyone's heart inspire fear or fearlessness according to one's intelligence. But in you, there is no duality. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, Ye yatha mam prapadyate tastathavi bhajamiham. As one surrenders unto me, I reward him accordingly. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is a reservoir of everything, including all knowledge, all truth, and all contradictions. The example cited herein is very appropriate. A rope is one truth, but some mistake it for a snake, whereas others know it to be a rope. Similarly, devotees who know the Supreme Personality of Godhead do not see contradictions in him, but non-devotees regard him as a snake-like source of all fear. For example, when Narasimhadev appeared, Prahlad Maharaj saw the Lord as a supreme solace, whereas his father, a demon, saw him as the ultimate death. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhayam dvitya abhiniveshita syat. Fear results from being absorbed in duality. When one is in knowledge of duality, one knows both fear and bliss. The same Supreme Lord is a source of bliss to devotees and fear to non-devotees who have a poor fund of knowledge. God is one, but people understand the absolute truth from different angles of vision. The unintelligent see contradictions in him, but sober devotees find no contradictions. So the Lord is the same. How we approach Him, that's up to us. And in the shloka, it's given the example of a rope. So sometimes a rope is there on the ground, and if it is dark, a person who's in ignorance, he will think it's a snake and he gets afraid of it. But a person who's in knowledge, or if there is a light also means knowledge. So one who has knowledge, he sees a rope and he says, oh, it's a rope. There's nothing to be afraid of. So same thing about the Supreme Lord. Of course, he's not a snake or a rope, but the example is like that, that one who is in knowledge of the Lord, he can only love him. There is nothing to be afraid of him. But just like in the case of Narasimhadev, Prahlad Maharaj was very happy to see the Lord, even though the Lord will read in 7th canto how he appeared and what kind of form he had, and it was Ugra Narasimha, and he was ready to like burn down the whole universe. And Hiranyakashipu was afraid of seeing him. But Prahlad Maharaj, he was just standing there with folded hands, seeing the fight going on between Narasimhadev and Hiranyakashipu. And he was not at all afraid. So it's our relationship with him. Just like if somebody's father is in police. No, whether he's in police, he's maybe a very, very fearful policeman, and all the gundas and rogues are afraid of him. But when he comes home, the son is not afraid of him. He would even play with his uniform or whatever, jump on his back, and maybe just mockingly beat him up, and father will love it. But the son is not afraid of him because there is a relationship of love. So that love is what we have to develop. Text 38. With deliberation, one will see that the Supreme Soul, although manifested in different ways, is actually the basic principle of everything. The total material energy is a cause of the material manifestation, but the material energy is caused by him. Therefore, he is a cause of all causes, the manifester of intelligence and the senses. He is perceived as a supersoul of everything. Without him, everything would be dead. You, as that supersoul, the supreme controller, are the only one remaining. So the whole material energy is caused by him. Everything comes from him. And in fact, yes, right now it's a whole situation is very terrible and everybody is scared. But we should see this is, at least we can talk about it, that this is all caused by Krishna. Coronavirus is only an energy of Krishna. And if we get infected, we can still pray to the Lord. That if he likes, he can protect us, he can cure us. But regardless, our devotion, our chanting, our services, our prayers towards him should not stop. Because a devotee always sees the Supreme Lord's hand everywhere. And just like there was a story that boy and girl, they got married and they were crossing the river in a boat, going from one village to another. And when they were in the middle of the river, there was some storm and there were rain and there were heavy winds and the waves were there, and then the boat was just moving here and there. And the girl, she was getting afraid, but the boy was calm. And the girl was saying, how come you're so calm? Aren't you afraid of death? The boy, what he did, because marriages generally they have this sword, and they're given the groom. So he took out his sword and put it again at the throat of his wife. The wife said, "What are you doing?" The boy said, "Are you not afraid of this sword? I can kill you." The wife said, "Why should I be afraid? You're my husband. You'll protect me. Why would you kill me?" The boy just put the sword back. He said, "Exactly. If we have full faith in the Lord, why would he not protect us? He might not protect this body, physical body, but he'll definitely protect the soul, the consciousness." So with that thought, anything that comes our way, we just look at it. It's all Krishna's energy. Krishna is sending it the way he wants to. Okay, so whatever is going to happen, it's going to happen the way he wants. All we have to do is chant. All we have to do is pray to him. Take shelter of him. Yes, you can all say, "Oh, it's easier said than done." Yes, it's all theoretical knowledge, obviously. But there are acharyas, there are devotees who have shown this way. Prabhupada himself showed it. And we have read about how Bhishma Pitama left his body with arrows, so many arrows through his body that there was not a place to put another single arrow. Movies and serials, they don't show that many arrows going through the body of Bhishma Pitama. But this is what Mahabharata says. But still in that condition, he was praying to the Lord and he gave instructions to Yudhishthira Maharaj. And Krishna himself was there when he left his body. He was not complaining to Krishna. Krishna, why did this happen to me? No. All he asked was, Krishna, just please be there when I leave my body. That's all. So all I hope is, I hope nobody leaves their bodies. I hope Mohanty Prabhu also gets okay soon, recovers. But whatever happens, that's all up to Krishna. All we have to do is spend more and more time in his service, chanting and doing prayers and serving him. That's all. Purpose. The word Sarva Vastuni, Vastu Swarupa indicate that the Supreme Lord is the active principle of everything. As described in the Brahma Samhita, I worship the personality of Godhead Govinda, who enters the existence of every universe and every atom by one of his plenary portions, and thus manifests his infinite energy throughout the material creation. By his one plenary portion as Paramatma Antaryami, the Lord is all-pervading throughout the unlimited universes. He is a Pratyak or Antaryami of all living entities. The Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, "O son of Bharat, you should understand that I am also the knower of all bodies." Because the Lord is a super soul, he is the active principle of every living entity and even the atom. He is the actual reality. According to various stages of intelligence, one realizes the presence of the Supreme in everything through the manifestations of his energy. The entire world is permeated by the three gunas, and one can understand his presence according to one's mode of material nature. So he is everywhere. He is the cause of everything. But to see him, one has to have those eyes of devotional service. Text 39. Therefore, O killer of the Madhu demon, incessant transcendental bliss flows in the minds of those who have even once tasted but a drop of the nectar from the ocean of your glories. Such exalted devotees forget the tiny reflection of so-called material happiness produced from the material senses of sight and sound. Free from all desires, such devotees are the real friends of all living entities. Offering their minds unto you and enjoying transcendental bliss, they are expert in achieving the real goal of life. O Lord, you are the sole and dear friend of such devotees who never need return to this material world. How could they give up engagement in your devotional service? O Lord, you're the sole and dear friend of such devotees. Such devotees means who don't see anything else except you, who never need return to this material world. How could they give up engagement? Although non-devotees, because of their meager knowledge and speculative habits, cannot understand the real nature of the Lord, a devotee who has once tasted the nectar from the Lord's lotus feet can realize what transcendental pleasure there is in the Lord's devotional service. A devotee knows that simply by rendering service to the Lord, he serves everyone. Therefore, devotees are real friends to all living entities. Only a pure devotee can preach the glories of the Lord for the benefit of all conditioned souls. Because the devotee knows, he understands the bliss that is there in the devotional service. And he wants everybody to experience this bliss, this happiness, which is not available anywhere else. And that is why he preaches. And even in the preaching, because it is devotional service, devotees always experiencing the bliss. And that is why there is a difference. When a devotee is speaking on Krishna Katha and a professional reciter is speaking Krishna Katha, when a devotee is chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, or when a professional singer is chanting, there is a huge difference. Prabhupada's chanting, if we listen to, it's a simple tune, very simple tune, but so much of nectar is there because Prabhupada is himself experiencing, tasting that nectar, and he's chanting, and we can perceive, feel that taste in his chanting. Therefore, Prabhupada said, therefore, devotees are real friends to us. Because real friend means he doesn't want his friend to suffer again in the material world. He wants him to go back. And the devotee works towards that goal. O Lord of personified three worlds, Father of the three worlds, O strength of the three worlds in the form of Vaman incarnation, O three-eyed form of Narasimhadev, O most beautiful person within the three worlds, everything and everyone, including human beings and even the Daitya demons and the Danavas, is but an expansion of your energy. O supremely powerful one, you have always appeared in your forms as the various incarnations to punish the demons as soon as they become very powerful. You appear as Lord Vamandev, Lord Ram, and Lord Krishna. You appear sometimes as an animal like Lord Boar, sometimes a mixed incarnation like Lord Narasimhadev and Lord Hayagriva, and sometimes an aquatic like Lord Fish and Lord Tortoise. Assuming such various forms, you have always punished the demons and Danavas. We therefore pray that your Lordship appear today as in another incarnation, if you so desire, to kill the great demon, Vritrasura. So of course, they want the Lord to kill Vritrasura, but they know the Lord is supremely independent and he will do whatever he wants to do. So they are saying, you please appear, if you so desire, please kill this demon, Vritrasura. There are two kinds of devotees known as Sakam and Akam. Pure devotees are Akam, whereas devotees in the upper planetary system, such as The demigods are called Sakam because they still want to enjoy material opulence. Because of their pious activities, the Sakam devotees are promoted to the higher planetary systems. But at heart, they still desire to lord it over the material resources. The Sakam devotees are sometimes disturbed by the demons and Rakshasas. But the Lord is so kind that he always saves them by appearing as an incarnation. The Lord's incarnations are so powerful that Lord Vamandev covered the entire universe with 2 steps and therefore had no place for his 3rd step. The Lord is called Trivikram because he showed his strength by delivering the entire universe with merely 3 steps. The difference between Sakam and Akam devotees is that when Sakam devotees, like the demigods, fall into difficulty, they approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead for relief. Whereas Akam devotees, even in the greatest danger, never disturb the Lord for material benefits. Even if an Akam devotee is suffering, he thinks this is due to his past impious activities and agrees to suffer the consequences. He never disturbs the Lord. Sakam devotees immediately pray to the Lord as soon as they are in difficulty, but they are regarded as pious because they consider themselves fully dependent on the mercy of the Lord. So this is what Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita. Chaturvida bhajante mam jana sukriti no arjuna. He calls them sukriti. Arto jigyasvar arthati jnani cha bharatarisha. So even if somebody approaches me in distress, he is still considered pious because he approached me. Of course, we cannot imitate pure devotees. So it's not that even in the heart we have the desire that Krishna should protect me, but outwardly you say, I'm not going to disturb the Lord. That's not correct. So it's okay. We have to work, we have to pray according to our position. We cannot imitate anybody else. And the Lord, even the demigods are praying to the Lord. And the Lord is pleased with them. Lord is pleased with even Sakam, Akam, Nishkam, every kind of devotees. You just have to become devotee. So as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, Tatyanukambam Susamikshama. Even while suffering in the midst of difficulties, devotees simply offer their prayers and service more enthusiastically. In this way, they become firmly fixed in devotional service and eligible to return home back to Godhead, without a doubt. Sakam devotees, of course, achieve from the Lord the results they desire from their prayers, but they do not immediately become fit to return to Godhead. It is to be noted herein that Lord Vishnu, in his various incarnations, is always the protector of his devotees. So that could be any Sakam, Akam, Nishkam, any kind of devotees. He's always there to protect them. Srila Madhvacharya says, Vividhan Bhava. Krishna is the origin personality of Godhead. All the other incarnations proceed from Lord Vishnu. But they are always there to protect the devotees. And this whole canto is about that subject matter called Poshanam, or cultivating devotion, or devotees, taking care of devotees. Text 41. O Supreme Protector, O Grandfather, O Supreme Pure, O Lord, we're all surrendered souls at your lotus feet. Indeed, our minds are bound to your lotus feet in meditation by chains of love. Now please manifest your incarnation. Accepting us as your own eternal servants and devotees, be pleased with us and sympathetic towards us. By your love-filled glance with its cool and teasing smile of sympathy, and by the sweet nectarian words emanating from your beautiful face, free us from the anxiety caused by this Vritrasura, who always pains the courts of our hearts. And we can pray that please free us from the anxiety caused by this Koranasura, And this is really paining the core of our heart. Lord Brahma is considered the father of the demigods, but Krishna, Lord Vishnu, is the father of Brahma because Brahma took birth from the lotus flower growing from the Lord's abdomen. So that's why they call the Lord here the grandfather. Text 42. O Lord, as the small sparks of a fire cannot possibly perform the actions of the whole fire, we, sparks of your Lordship, cannot inform you of the necessities of our lives. You're the complete whole. Therefore, of what do we need to inform you? You know everything because you're the original cause of the cosmic manifestation, the maintainer and the annihilator of the entire universal creation. You always engage in your pastimes with the spiritual and material energies, for you're the controller of all these variegated energies. You exist within all living entities, within the cosmic manifestation, and also beyond them. You exist internally as Parabrahman and externally as ingredients of the material creation. Therefore, although manifested in various stages, at different times and places, and in various bodies, you, the personality of Godhead, are the original cause of all causes. Indeed, you are the original element. You are the witness of all activities. But because you are as great as the sky, you never touched by any of them. You are the witness of everything as Parabrahman and Paramatma, or Supreme Personality of Godhead. Nothing is unknown to you. So they are hoping somehow or other the Supreme Lord is pleased and he takes care of this demon. The absolute truth exists in three phases of spiritual understanding: Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the cause of Brahman and Paramatma. Brahman, the impersonal absolute truth, is all pervading, and Paramatma is locally situated in everyone's heart. But Bhagavan, who is worshipped by the devotees, is the original cause of all causes. A pure devotee is aware that since nothing is unknown to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he need not be informed of a devotee's conveniences and inconveniences. A pure devotee knows that there is no need to ask the absolute truth for any material necessities. Therefore, while informing the Supreme Lord about their distress in being attacked by Vritrasura, the demigods apologize for offering prayers for their safety. A neophyte devotee, of course, approaches the Supreme Lord for relief from distress or poverty, or for speculative knowledge of the Lord. Bhagavad Gita mentions 4 kinds of pious men who begin devotion service to the Lord. One who is distressed, artha; one who in need of money, artharthi; one who is inquisitive, jigyasu; and one who is searching for the absolute truth, jnani. A pure devotee, however, knows that since the Lord is omnipresent and omniscient, there is no need to offer prayers or worship him for one's personal benefit. A pure devotee always engages in the service of the Lord without demanding anything. The Lord is present everywhere and knows the necessities of his devotees. Consequently, there is no need to disturb him by asking him for material benefits. So the demigods are asking him, and then they're saying, you know everything. And Prabhupada said, a pure devotee does not ask him for anything, does not disturb him. But at the same time, if we remember this pastime of Krishna chastising Khalia, and afterwards Krishna danced on the hoods of Khalia, and Khalia surrendered, and then he left that place. Krishna came back to the banks of Yamuna, and all the Brajvasis were there: Nanda Baba, Yashoda Maya, cowherd boyfriends, Gopas, Gopis, everybody was there because they were afraid of Krishna's well-being. But by that time, when he came out, it was too late. It was getting dark. And at the suggestion of Krishna, everybody decided to take rest at the banks of Yamuna that night. So what happened in the middle of the night that friends of Khalia, friends of Khalia, they were very angry with Krishna. So they created or they started a forest fire. So their idea was we'll burn everybody down. So everybody woke up. There was fire all around them. Everybody woke up and they were crying. And in the daytime, they were afraid for Krishna's protection. And now they were crying, Krishna, please protect us. It's in the Bhagavatam. Krishna, please protect us. And Krishna asked them, even Nanda Baba, Yashoda Maya, I asked them, close your eyes. And they all closed their eyes and Krishna drank the whole forest fire. Now the question is asked, why? I mean, the Brajvasi, there is nobody better than Brajvasis in devotion service. Why they wanted Krishna to protect them? Here Prabhupada says, pure devotee does not ask. He always engages in the service of the Lord without demanding anything. See, now the Brajvasis moved towards Krishna. Their mood, their whole life, purpose of life, the soul of the innermost soul of their lives, everything is Krishna. To love Krishna, to satisfy Krishna. Of course, not even in the mood of in the thinking that Krishna is a supreme personality of God. They never think of that. But their mood is to always serve Krishna, love Krishna. And they understood they understood the Krishna's love for them. It's tremendous. Krishna cannot see anything happening to Brajvasis. So when they were praying, the thought was, if something happens to us, it will give Krishna lots of pain. So that mood is very, very different than what we can read in scriptures. If anything happens to me, it will not bother Krishna. It's just like some little, I'm like a little virus somewhere. Doesn't even matter. But the Brajvasis, they're so dear to Krishna that if anything had happened to them, it would have given lots and lots of discomfort, displeasure to Krishna. So that's what they prayed to Krishna, to protect them, so that Krishna is happy. So it's a very high level of love. But yes, in our case, since we are so much in the beginning stages of bhakti, so we can pray for protection. We can pray for relief from distress, poverty, or anything. We can pray. So idea is slowly, gradually, we develop more and more faith and more love for Krishna. And so in that stage, at that stage, we don't need to ask. But then when Brajvasis, they can ask, because their mood is different, completely different. So one doesn't become a Brajvasi just by living in Braj. That mood has to be there. Of course, living in Braj has plenty of benefit, because slowly we develop that mood. So anyway, we'll stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments. Okay, so we'll stop here. You all have a safe and wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji.